Isn't it interesting how, with every convenience that we have been granted, the further we've gotten from our original design? I think about the upcoming world, and I don't want to talk too much about the upcoming world and the things to come because I don't want to make this about that. But with all of these modern conveniences, it's almost like, the evolution that we're going through is separating from us from our original design, not having to hunt and gather for our own food. We go to the grocery store and get it. Um, I was having this conversation yesterday thinking about how like organic food for so long was absolutely rejected because no one wanted the bruises on the fruit. It looked ugly. It was aesthetically not pleasing, therefore we didn't want it. And yet the organic food was exactly what our bodies needed. And the fact the more bruises on the fruit in some cases, the healthier it is. Kind of makes me think of the bruises that we go through in life. Those bruises give and those wounds give us this opportunity to really have the human experience. Yet so many of us, like myself included, for so long ran from the pain, ran from the suffering because it didn't feel good. Yet at the same time, it's the very thing that helped me become the person that I believe I was created to be, learning from the painful things. It's like for so long, we were taught, everything's bad or that's demonic. And then, and we do everything to run from those demons. Yet at the same time, those demons sometimes are our best teacher. We avoid the hardship, we avoid the pain, we avoid the struggle, we avoid telling the truth because we're afraid of the bruises that might come with it. Yet at the same time, it's the very thing that sets us free. In my own experience, after recovering from, you know, 20 years of addiction of everything you can imagine, and I mean everything, every drug and sex and drugs and sex together, and even food, relationships, chasing love, even though I had no business even being around it. But everything was to run from the pain, to hide from the pain, to make things better, to make it all better. But it never was. In fact, it just made it worse. The longer I delayed the pain, ultimately it set me up for the greatest version of suffering that I could possibly have ever experienced. But after getting through addiction and getting through heartbreak and getting through other things, and I thought that I had things all figured out. But yet I was brought to my knees once again with this physical ailment that I have, right? Losing the ability to talk, losing the ability to be around people. And I love people, losing my family, losing all of those things. It was the most painful experience that I ever went through because for the very first time, I knew and felt what heartbreak was. I knew what betrayal felt like. I knew what isolation and true loneliness felt like. Yet at the same time, it reminds me of when I went to jail the sixth time and I was facing 5 years and I was locked in isolation. There was nowhere to escape. I've had to learn very, very hard lessons that one, I can't outrun God. And the more I try, the more painful the consequence of doing so is. The pain brings us closer to our humanity because it really shows us who we are and what we're made out of. You can't outrun your giants. You can keep running from them, but you're going to keep running back in them. I know from experience. But the more giants that we step up to face, the more we realize it is part of our humanity to overcome those giants. Overcome, defeat, conquer, destroy. And then once we've done that, we have this amazing gift of then getting to be able to show others how to conquer and destroy their own giants.